Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of ANOKHI Uncensored, airing for free, as you guys know, on the world's #1 South Asian radio station, Ruckus Avenue Radio, on the iHeartRadio app. Just download the app and search Ruckus Avenue Radio. Episodes drop every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. PST and 10 p.m. EST. You can also watch the episodes on the Girn YouTube channel and the ANOKHI Media Facebook page. So hop on over to join both of them now. Well, maybe after the show would be a good idea. I'm your host, as usual, Girn, coming to you today with a very special guest who I actually interviewed for the first time way back in 2014 when she was honored with an ANOKHI Award, after which she has gone on to dominate the dance floors across North America with her distinct style of DJing. Please welcome to the show the one and only DJ FIZZA, back after a decade, girlfriend, of doing all the things.
I was going to say 10 years. It feels like yesterday, but then it also, like, so much has happened, so much has changed. Same me, but 10 years. It's beautiful.
10 years. You know, it's so interesting because when I was thinking about, what can we focus on? Because there's just so much that you've done. There's just so much that you're doing. And I felt that I needed to set some context for those people who don't know anything about your life outside of
absolutely,
you being DJ FIZZA.
My friends call me Hannah Montana.
Do they?
Because some people have no idea that there's so many layers to my life, right? And I think they just know me as DJ FIZZA or this or that. But yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. You are a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, a teacher, a celebrated DJ, which is what most people know you as in the public arena. But you're also the founder of the Toronto DJ Academy. Girl, my God, how busy you've been.
Yeah, I don't know. I know. I think it's like probably I'm the fourth child. I'm just always trying to overachieve to get recognized. It's like a sick problem, but no, honestly, I'm so grateful. And there's just so many, so there's so many things that people don't know about me, right? They just say DJ, headphones on, dancing around, smiling, but there are definitely a lot of layers to my life. Yeah.
So, well, let's just, give everyone some perspective on what some of those layers are, FIZZA. Let's start by just sharing with everyone watching, listening, and reading this, because wherever you are, I want you guys to get full context on why I think FIZZA is such a remarkable woman. Today it's very difficult to be able to do all the things without having retribution from social media, from our peer groups, from everyone who feels that they have a right to step in and have an opinion about your life. But regardless of all of that, FIZZA, you have done so many things. And I want to start by sharing with everyone, where did you come from? Like, what was life like growing up? Let's start there, because I feel that a lot of people will look at someone like you and see all the things you've done and don't realize, just like everyone else in the world, the story started somewhere.
Yeah. So my parents came, they were originally in, Middle East and Pakistan. My dad actually drove from there all the way up to England. True story. So we lived in England for a bit. Yeah, moved to Canada, had 5 kids. I'm the fourth. You know, great childhood, 5 kids. It was always chaos, but we always had a musical background, whether it was my parents with Bollywood music or qawwalis or Arabic music or, even, their religious knots and all their nohe. We would be enjoying those. And then at the same time, I have 3 older sisters. And there's a big age gap between myself and my oldest sister. So just enjoying the 70s music, the 80s music, the 90s music, and just growing up in that has been really interesting. And as a South Asian female, I never thought that I could be a DJ. I never thought that I would be sitting here with Girn talking about my journey, but I think it is so important for other South Asian, in particular, I'm going to be honest, South Asian women and girls
Mhm.
to see that it is possible. I never thought that I would be a DJ, and I still have those moments where I have to like pinch myself, be like, oh my gosh, I'm DJing in front of like Avril Lavigne, and there is, Conor McGregor and John Chrétien just walked by me. It's surreal and it's humbling and it's beautiful. I think I had imposter syndrome for a long time. Um,
Mm.
just being a female in the industry, you start off and people don't think you can do it, or they don't actually think you're DJing. And it's taken a while for me to come into my own shoes and say, I'm here. This is what I do. I am going toe to toe with other DJs, and I am doing those events, and I can scratch, and I can do this, and I can play at the clubs, and I can do that, and I can make a remix. And I think that's probably where the Toronto DJ Academy stem from, because now I'm able to give back to young children, women, girls, anybody who just didn't know that they could do it.
Mhm.
They can do it. And I'm
Mhm.
here to guide
Absolutely.
them. I'm here to help them. And it's like, I think subconsciously, I'm like, let me help them to save them, 5 steps back of what I did.
Mhm.
And it is really like a confidence booster for a lot of people. Um, so I don't even know if I answered the question correctly, but that was
You
sort of my upbringing, right? South
yeah.
Asian girl, first generation in this country where, your parents tell you you have to be a doctor, a lawyer. And so, yes, I did become a teacher. I went to teachers
Yes.
college. I finished half my master's. I didn't end up finishing the other half. And I just was this like basement underground, well, not even basement, it was a condo DJ where my friends used to come over. Shout out DJ TNT Soccer, who used to come over to my condo. We would just hours on hours just DJ and just sit there and enjoy music. And then I would make a mistake. And there was no Toronto DJ Academy when I was doing it. So again, DJs like TNT would be like, nope, you made a mistake, rewind, fix it. And I would sit there and rewind and fix and just, yeah, I have to say it was the South Asian community that really helped me start DJing. I'm sure can we mention names on here, or do we
Of course
just,
you can. You can mention
there's people,
anything
there's
that
South
is a part
Asian
of your life.
promoters, yeah,
Yeah.
like, the Punjies of the world, where I had my first opportunities to DJ. Um, it was amazing.
I feel like there's so much that I want to talk to you about in the sphere of DJing, but I feel that a lot of your narrative prior to you becoming a professional DJ and realizing that, this is actually a very important part of your narrative and your identity for yourself, Fizza. There's so many other parts that play into the mix here that I want to kind of chronologically help people understand. So, as, a woman that was, born and brought up here in Canada as the first generation, having sisters, as you mentioned, older than you got exposed both to your parents' perspectives on music, as well as different, decades of sisters, right? And then
Yep.
you're stepping into your own space. But you made a choice decision, as you just mentioned, to become a teacher, almost like, you went down the acceptable careers path.
Oh yeah,
So I want to,
absolutely.
so what I want to ask is, you know, this is an important role and career in your life as well. I mean, people know you publicly in the, sphere as DJ, but you are a bona fide teacher and you have been
Yeah,
for a long time and you
absolutely.
love
Yeah,
that role. Can you
I love
share a
it.
little? Yeah. So can we share, because I feel this plays in to a lot of kind of, your story as we will chronologically go through it. I know that this was a very important part of, who you are and who you identify as. Why a teacher? Can we just step into that space before we move on?
I don't, wow, I don't know. That's a good question. I think again, just being a South Asian girl with immigrant parents. I grew up in Hamilton, so it's very different from where we live in Toronto, but I was the only brown girl in my school. And I always felt like, not that it should even matter, but I always felt 10 shades darker than I was. It was just like a shadow
Mm,
over me. I just felt different from people. I didn't eat the same food as everybody. I wasn't allowed to go and have sleepovers like all my other friends. I wasn't allowed to go to parties. Um, I felt different. And so I want that representation for younger children that I'm here. I did it. You know,
mhm,
it's funny. I just took my students to the library the other day, and I was telling them how important the library was to me growing up. You know, very middle class family, but with 5 kids, money is you know, we're budgeting, so it's not like I
mhm,
had a lot of opportunity for this club and that club. So I told my students that the library was my extracurricular because every week I would go get books and I would read and read and read. And I just read. I was a bookworm. Everybody knew me in my house as a bookworm. So I think just growing up, it was like feeling different, feeling like a little bit of an outcast. Um, there was a lack of confidence for sure. And
mhm,
I've always wanted to give back. And, you know, over 15 years of teaching, I love it. I love it so
mhm.
much. People always ask me, so when are you going to quit DJing? Or sorry, when are you going to quit teaching? And I probably won't. It's something that just I'm really good at, honestly. You can ask my amazing principal that I work for right now in the school and the community that I work for. Shout out Elm Bank, um, who I work with. I try my best. I put my foot forward every day, and we try and we try and we try. And we work with students, again, who are going through a lot
Mhm,
emotionally at home, at school. There's a lot
mhm,
going on.
mhm,
And I want to be there, you
mhm.
know? I actually chose that school and that community because
Wow.
that's, I don't know. Why do I do it? I don't know. I
I
like
think
it.
you've
I love
answered
it.
it. Yeah, I think you've answered it, sweetheart, because, perhaps, um, not having the representation when you were going through the school system, so that, really would have made things a lot harder, than if you had. So here you are picking a place where people like you and I, right, are going to be going through the school system, through cultural changes, through, being able to combat between what's going on in the home environment and what's going on in the, larger society, that they have to kind of find a place between both of those, right? And, you've been there, I've been there. And it just kind of makes sense to me that you would want to make it easier for, you know, someone like you and me,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Like it just makes sense
Absolutely.
that you would do that. But it's really interesting because between becoming a teacher and becoming a DJ, you also got married. You
Yeah,
have two beautiful babies. You're
I
just
know.
still checking off all of the good Daisy girl boxes.
Oh, always.
Right, right. So where did you and your husband Zayn meet, and how did you know that he was the right one for you, especially since you're not a regular Daisy girl? You have all of these, versions of your narrative, all of which you have pursued. And, it takes a certain kind of guy in any culture to be able to deal with a woman that truly wants to step into all of who she can be, let alone a Daisy guy. Talk to me a little bit
He's
about that
so
dynamic.
confident. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am so grateful for that. We met in school. Long story short, he should have been out because he's a little bit older than me, and I shouldn't have even been there. But I think destiny brought us together, and yeah, we met in university. I thought he was cute right away, and I loved his name. I think his name is so cool, and he you know, Raj, it's like the classic story of like you like someone and then they don't really like I liked him a lot. I had a big crush on him and he just wasn't, I don't know what he was into. He wasn't into me.
Okay. Well, that is
um,
so interesting. I don't think anyone
yeah,
would know that.
he thought I was just like, as most people see me, he just thought I was some party girl and just, you
Mhm.
know, flirty, having fun. But I think that's just my personality. But I think how it could be seen as, you know, but then it turned out he liked me too. 'Cause 2 kids later, here we are.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I love that. And when things are meant to be, they just are. Like no one can take away that which is meant for you. I truly believe in that. Yeah, so I feel like you were going to make a comment there.
I'm just so grateful that I have a South Asian man who is confident, who is able to accept me with all facets. Like that guy knows me to my
Mhm.
core, and surprisingly, um, but I'm very grateful, very, very grateful for that.
Absolutely. So before we dive into your vast DJ career, sweetheart, you've touched upon some of it, but I really want to kind of dive a little deeper. Before we do that, I want to ask you this a little bit about your avatar and your role in motherhood.
Yeah,
What does that mean to you? Because for those who think being a mother and a career woman still, because there's a lot of, women that I meet that still feels you can only be one or the other
yeah,
successfully. But, you're one of those, women who have defied those odds. Like you truly are
I hope
very
so.
invested in your role as a mother, as you are
Honestly,
invested in your role as a teacher, as you're invested in your role as a DJ and an entrepreneur, also, all of which I still want to talk about. So I guess what I want to ask you is um, teacher, DJ, and business owner, as well as being a mother to two young girls who are coming into their teens in another few years.
oh
Can
gosh,
you share
I'm
your
not ready for
secret?
that.
Oh my God, yeah, that's a whole
Oh,
other show we need to do.
I
Can you
know.
share your secret
Yeah,
sauce there? Because
sure.
all these things are important to you. Like, talk to
Yeah.
me about the
So,
motherhood role. Yeah.
so honestly, that is my most important role over anything. That is my most important job over anything. Um, and so it looks hard. And honestly, sometimes I wish I posted like the real me with my glasses on and my sweatpants on, and I'm just like I have sculptures over there we're building right now, and we're gonna paint later.
Wow.
Um, that is my most important role in life,
Mhm.
and I feel like you should be able to have it all. Why can't you have it all?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are, as women, we always struggle and we have mom guilt. Um,
Hmm.
and then there's COVID to throw that in like a few years ago. So for me in life, like the most valuable thing to me right now is time.
Hmm.
And it's taken so much time to realize like how to compartmentalize and schedule my life, like really.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
have to like go to one job and turn the switch off and go right into the next one and switch the turn off to switch it off. And honestly, when I get home and I'm with my girls, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky because I am a teacher. I am, I feel like I'm able to, try my best to do a good job parenting. That's all we can do is
Yes.
try our best.
Yeah.
But I just want to raise 2 girls who are strong, confident, brave. And so that's where most of my energy is.
Hmm.
Otherwise, honestly, you would still see me doing the regular clubs every Friday and Saturday and Thursdays. And I would be that DJ traveling here, there, and everywhere. Same with like teaching. I just literally just turned down a role because right now, family is everything to me.
Hmm. Wow.
So I guess there's been sacrifices in everything, but the main important job for me right now is being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
You know, I want to ask you this. You mentioned mom guilt, and you also
Oh, yeah.
mentioned, and you've also mentioned that, you know, this is currently the most important job for you. How do you know? So let me ask you this, right? How do you know that you shouldn't be feeling mom guilt? And how do you know when which version of role is the one that you should be focusing on in any given moment? Like, how do you know is the question I'm asking.
So I think because I give my all, I give my all. First of all, you know what I'm talking about because you're also doing so many different things and you wear so many different hats, and honestly you are a woman that I look up to deeply. But
I feel the same about you, sweetheart, to be very
no.
honest, because I'm on the other
I think
end
you've seen
of
me grow up.
parenting. I have. I
Yeah,
have.
yeah. And so the mom guilt is always there, but I know that, for example, when I'm DJing an event, I'm going to give it 110%. I'm going to know what the demographic is. I'm going to know what kind of vibe they want. I'm going to dress the part. I'm going to do the hair. I'm going to do the makeup, and I'm going to go. And when I'm a mother, it's the same thing. But the mom guilt is like when when they're at the park and I happen to like check my Instagram or something, or, even when I'm all dressed up and I have to leave for an event. The mom guilt's there when your little baby girl is hugging you and like, oh, I don't want you to leave. And you're just like,
Oh,
oh, that's mom guilt.
yeah.
Um, but I have to tell myself that I know that I'm doing the best that I can with my girls. I wake up every morning, I get them dressed. I literally put the toothpaste on their toothpaste, their toothbrushes. My younger daughter is still in grade 1. I still like pick out her outfits and get them
Oh,
down, make them breakfast, get them to school. I'm there every day. All the kids, like, I'm that mom. I'm there to pick them up every day, come home, make a home cooked meal, do their homework. I have them in their extracurricular. Like, I'm that mom.
my gosh. You are a
I'm that
super
mom.
mom, sweetheart. You are a super
I
mom.
think we're all super moms, and I
Mm-hmm.
think we're all just doing the best that we can
Mm-hmm.
with
Absolutely.
what we're given. And I, again, just want to teach them good morals, good values, be confident, be brave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So
You know what, sweetheart? I can really, really understand where you're coming from, because I know that when I started ANOKHI over 20 years ago, my son was about 5 years old at that time. He's
I
26
can't
now.
even imagine
Yeah.
at 5 years old.
So, and the other thing is, you know my story. I just freshly came out of a divorce, so I didn't really know who I was, because I'm the auntie generation, right? Like, I'm not the generation that, was in touch with, being proud to be South Asian. I
Yeah.
didn't have all that kind of community support around the world that social media has allowed us now to feel that we deserve to be who we are, right? So
Yeah.
I didn't come from that generation. So, when I hear you share your story, I feel that, I agree with you. I agree that you will always feel guilty. But the thing is, I felt guilty whether I was not there for my son, but then I also felt guilty when I wasn't there for my business.
Yeah.
So I feel that it's just something that people say, well, you shouldn't feel guilty. I feel that if you're
Oh, yeah.
human,
It's impossible.
you will feel guilty. It's not about not feeling guilty that I've learned looking back at my life. It's about knowing that the guilt means something. So the guilt means that I really love my son and my role as a mother. The guilt on the professional side means I take my work seriously. So it's kind of redefining what that guilt, where it's coming from, that I
Yeah.
think really helped me to be able to understand that I will always feel the guilt on both sides. It's always
Yeah.
going to be there, but it's there for the right reason. And that's
Yeah,
what I
but
feel I'm hearing
you're
you
almost
say.
sometimes like it's like you're damned if you do, damned if I don't. Can I say that word?
Of course you can.
Um,
You're such a cutie.
But I've learned, and I'm still learning as a human being every
Mhm.
day, how to go about doing things. And yes, you and I both, we're go-getters.
Yes.
You know, started the Toronto DJ Academy right before COVID, and then continued it, DJing super, super great events in Toronto, in Canada, and then trying to be the best moms that we can and try
Mhm.
to provide the best that we can.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's always like it's give and take, and it's always a sacrifice here and a sacrifice there. But in
Yeah.
the end, it always works out, right? I
Yes.
think it always has to work out. But one thing I've learned is, and and this is like real honesty here. I'm going to be very
Mhm.
honest.
Yes.
Um, I've I've pulled back from certain things so that, for example, like with DJing,
Mhm.
I will do certain events, and again, the guilt of saying no to not being able to do an event. There's
Mhm.
guilt. Believe me, there's guilt. But I don't know. I guess it's just like an up and down. You're just trying to continuously work it out like a puzzle.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's the
so
fact
you,
that you're aware though, sweetheart. That's what I'm hearing you say here is that
yeah,
you're aware of all sides of it. So I want to ask you this because this is coming to me now. The one thing that I haven't yet asked you is how do you make the balancing act happen in your relationship then? Because here you are, multifaceted role. Your husband too, he has his own business, got the girls, he has things going on as well. How do
yeah.
you guys find time for each other? Like, do you have to like plan it into your week? Like, are you spontaneous?
We
Like, how do
have
you make that
to.
work? Yeah,
I'm not spontaneous. I need to plan. He is
I'm like that.
spontaneous. Yeah, I'm like, tell me where we're going so I know how to dress. And
Yes.
like I said, so I, at one point, I was giving too much to my careers, giving too much with teaching or DJing or the academy, and so I have had to pull back
Mm-hmm.
and give myself that time. That's actually that was my
Mm-hmm.
2024 New Year's resolution, which was to just slow down and
Mm-hmm.
just take a step back. But he's amazing. Honestly, I love this man. We have date nights. We go out. We, every Friday we'll open a bottle and just have time
I
and
love
chat.
that.
And remember, because I'm so structured, my
Mm-hmm.
my kids are gone to bed at a certain time. So then again, I can switch that off and move on
Yeah.
to other things. And I don't know, we just make it work.
Yeah.
And
That's the
oh
magic answer, sweetheart. That's the magic answer. You just make it work. If it's important for you, right? You find a way. And it's so interesting because I'm just like you. I get so much done, minus the husband, but I get so much done because I plan everything, sweetheart. Like I'm a
yeah,
lister.
I know.
Everything
Oh
is a
yeah,
list for me.
I know. Yeah.
Is
I
that for
wake up
you?
with a list. I wake
Yeah.
up in the morning, I'll go to bed with a list, and then I'll wake up in the morning and I have a list. And it's like bam, 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 bam.
I love
Absolute.
it.
The lists are, where would we be without lists?
Where would we be? Let's
Yeah.
talk DJing, sweetheart. I
Okay.
want to share the backstory, right? Like, and specifically the part where you went from it being a passion to realizing, hang on a minute, this is now turning into a bona fide career.
Yeah.
Can you go back there and tell me what was it that happened that you realized that you'd crossed over to from passion and hobby into fully doing this
Yeah.
full, well, full you did do it full time for quite
Oh,
some
yeah.
time there.
Oh,
You had
yeah.
two full-time careers, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me about
Um,
that.
it took a while. Like, even when I was doing club residencies every Saturday, every Thursday, every this, and I'm doing like, there was a lot. Like, I've been DJing all over. You fly to Miami and you're DJing. You fly to Washington, Montreal. I just was in Vancouver like a month ago, and it doesn't feel real sometimes, if that makes any sense. I
It
don't know
does.
if I should admit that or not. Um, and I think because when I did start out, there were
Mhm.
less female DJs. I love when I see a female DJ. I love it
Yeah.
because there were not a lot. I would have people come up, the sound audio engineers, and be like, "Oh, you got to lower the," and they would come in lower levels for me, and it was it's yeah. Or like people who don't know what they're saying or doing, and just say, "Oh, like, what are you doing? Like, do you have a playlist on?" And so it gets to you. It does really get
Mhm.
to you, and you're like, "Oh, okay. Maybe they should have hired the male DJ." But then now I'm in a place where um I am in my own, I can feel confident in my own shoes.
Mhm.
And so
And
when I
where,
am
when
like
did
I
that happen for you? Like where, if you look back, where was it that happened to you in your DJ career? Was it when you didn't have to worry so much about being female, about being compared to other people? Or was it when you started to get the choice to pick the gigs you want rather than having to take every gig because, oh my God, maybe I won't get another gig
yeah,
because I'm female, right?
I
Like, what
think
was it for you?
honestly, it was probably more recent than you think. I
Mm-hmm.
probably would say in the more recent years,
Mm-hmm.
where I finally felt right and confident. And I think it was because of being, a female DJ when there weren't a lot of female DJs. So like like there's been situations where like people come up to you and you're just like, I'm just trying to DJ. And you wouldn't do that if I was a male. Um,
Right.
but
Right.
so it's taken a while, and that, as much as I say it doesn't affect me, of course it affects a person, but
Mm-hmm.
again, even more so now, that's why I'm so happy that as an instructor at the DJ Academy, I can
Mm-hmm.
instill this stuff, not just with the female DJs, but with the males as well. And we start off every, the beginning of the course, like, we're here to have fun. It's all about just having fun and learning. And I always say, because, you've seen a DJ controller, there's so many knobs and buttons and lights. Just have fun. Just have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost as if what I'm saying, I'm starting to believe too, if that makes any sense. It's like I say it to my students, but I'm almost saying it to myself.
Yes, it makes all
I
the
don't know.
sense, babe. I do the same thing myself when I go on speaking gigs. I just came back from one in
I saw.
Houston, and it's almost surreal. And I know you can understand this. You're up there and you're saying the words, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm saying these words to these women here, but I'm saying these words to me. Like, I'm reminding myself
Yeah.
that this all matters. I'm reminding myself that I need to do the things to make sure that I
Yes.
stay humble, I stay empowered in myself. I do the things that are right for me, and not because I'm being pushed and shoved and prodded by the whole world who has an opinion about everything, right? And
Yeah.
I feel that, the beginning of 2024 for you, from what you're saying here, has brought you to that. Like, because,
Yeah.
in the beginning, you do overcompensate, right? It's like, oh my God, I've got to take every single gig. And then you get to a point where you
Absolutely.
start getting the gigs that really matter. And like,
Yep.
how is this Daisy girl getting these
It's
gigs?
crazy. I know.
But
So
you did.
grateful.
Let's talk about some of them. Can we share that? I
Sure.
want to
Yeah.
motivate everyone watching, listening, and reading this, especially our, younger generation of females.
Yeah.
Share some of these highlights. Let's
Yeah,
brag a
it's
bit.
funny because like even again, it's that whole imposter syndrome, right? Like people are calling me a celebrity DJ and I don't get it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like I
But
was
you
the official.
are.
I
But you
know, it's
are.
crazy. I was the official DJ at the NBA All-Star, and I did meet Usher, and Drake was there, and Gwen Stefani's there, and all of a sudden this big, security comes in. It's the president of Rwanda, and it's like, it's
Wow.
crazy. Or then I'm sitting here DJing for ANOKHI, and my gosh, like the best of the best South Asian superstars are there. Just a few months ago, I was doing the Canada Walk of Fame,
Yes.
and Avril Lavigne walks by me, and then, like I said, there were two prime ministers there. Um, Cardinal is there.
It's
It's so
insane.
cool.
It's
It's insane.
insane. Yeah.
And then I warmed up the stage before Sean Desmond came up last summer. That was really fun, and it's wild. It's wild. Like
Hmm.
when you actually press pause and you think about all of those things, I'm so grateful. I'm so
Hmm.
grateful. It's
So
fun.
when you look over the years that you've had so far in DJing, what would you say is probably the most important gig that you've ever done and why? This is a hard one because you've
That's
done
a
a lot of
really hard
powerful
one.
ones. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
How do you determine?
Ooh.
For those people who
Yeah.
don't know Fizza, let me just share one thing that I know very well about Fizza. Fizza is like that, young, impressionable version of ourselves that is always so amazed by everything that's happening around her. Am
I
I
love
wrong?
it.
Am I
No,
wrong? Yeah.
but yeah, absolutely. That's so funny. That's me.
Hmm.
That's like the little girl,
Yeah.
fourth child, like just that little girl, always amazed by her older sisters, amazed by this, amazed by that. Wow. Okay, I'll give you a top three. I'll give you
Yes.
a top three.
Yes.
Um, Obviously ANOKHI. Like, and
Sweetheart.
I'm not just saying this, I love it. And it's it has to be perfect because I know who's running it, and it just has to be. And so literally, like, it's every song selection that I do. It just has to be
Hmm.
perfect. I have to say, Montreal last year for Lamborghini
Oh.
was so much fun.
Hmm.
But like all these celebrity events aside, some of the best events that I do are, you know, ironically, like the Rose Picnic that's coming up in a
Hmm.
month. I've
Yes.
been doing that for the last few years, and it's just anywhere that is a good vibe and people are actually going to dance and appreciate what you're doing. And
Hmm.
so, I really hope you come up on stage this year, Raj, when I'm DJing. But it's just picture like this
Well, now I'm
big,
gonna have to. Like you
you
just
have
kind of put
to.
me on the
I
spot there,
know.
girlfriend.
Yeah, no pressure. Caught. um, by but yeah, so it's just like, big stage. I have like all my girlfriends behind me. We're just
Oh my
dancing and just
God.
having a good vibes, good energy, all love. And I
Hmm.
think those are like sort of my favorite kind of events
Right.
where they matter, but it's also I'm having fun. It doesn't
Yes.
it doesn't feel like work.
Hmm. Oh my
Yeah,
God. And how many times have you heard the greats say that? It doesn't feel like work.
I
It's just
know.
what I'm
Yeah.
meant to do, you know? And
It's
that's what this
yeah.
is for you. That's what this is for you as a DJ, but that's also what this is for you as a teacher. That's what I want everyone to get from this. There is no, having to choose one thing over another unless you aren't organized. Like you got to get your
Yeah,
shit together. Like you got to be organized. You got to put in the
absolutely.
time. You
Yeah.
got to put in the effort. And really, this is the perfect time for us to talk about the Toronto DJ Academy because this is the bringing together of both of your careers as a teacher
It's
and and
perfect.
and in music.
It's like a Venn diagram with the middle
Like
being teacher
crazy.
DJ,
Yeah.
teacher DJ.
Yes. Oh my God, it's
um,
insane. So, but first of all, I have to mention that, and you mentioned this already, but I got to say that you started this during COVID, sister. Like,
I
talk to me
know.
here. Like, where
The
did this
funny
come
thing,
from and
okay,
why during COVID?
so yeah, so it was actually before COVID, and then we were going to launch that year in September 2020. And then COVID happened on your birthday. I
Yes. Oh
remember.
my
I still
gosh.
remember. I still remember, where were you? Well, but we were going to launch in September, and then we didn't launch, and then things slowed down, but it actually gave me a lot of time. And I think for me, COVID was good because
Mm-hmm.
life was getting too fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying yes to every event, and I was doing everything, and I was doing like all the things and too many things
Yeah.
and the unnecessary things that I didn't need to be doing.
Yeah.
So then we were able to revamp. I have a small team that I work with, and they're amazing and they're very helpful as well. And so here we are. That's what we're doing.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk a little bit about this. Who is the school specifically for? Is there an age demographic? Like, talk to me a
No,
little bit about this.
this is the cool thing, Raj. So we have our kids' camps, anywhere from age 8 to 14. I've had um, a 6-year-old join because they just were really into it.
I love that.
Yeah, there's no rules to the love of music. That is
Yes.
actually our hashtag. It's for the love of music.
Yes.
I've have such a diverse group in the adult course. I've had teenage students in university to full-on professionals, chartered
Oh
accountants,
my gosh.
doctors. I've had a veterinarian. She was awesome. Um, People who need that outlet. Like some people have golf, other people have music. And
Mm-hmm.
like I say, we're all DJs. Like if you love music and and most people are,
Yeah.
you are a DJ. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where it sort of stemmed from, but it's like all ages, so diverse. And it's so funny. It just keeps getting more and more diverse, and it's very organic, and
Mm-hmm.
it's this snowball effect that keeps growing and growing. Our space is too small right now, so we do have to find
That's
a
such
bigger
a good
space.
problem.
I
What
know,
a
I'm just
great
knocking on
problem
my
to have.
I know. I know. And it started off with, just a few students to now, oh, well, why can't I get into the class? Why is it always booked when I
Oh
try
my
to book
gosh.
or yeah. And then we
Wow.
have our junior DJs,
Yeah.
our little babies. So they're really good. These kids are so good with technology, and
Mm-hmm.
technology is good to us because now you can get like a kid-sized controller
Yeah.
and just have fun. It's all about having fun. I think my life is
Absolutely.
that should be my mantra. Just have fun.
And this is why you are called to do all the things truly rooted in passion, right? The
Yeah,
teaching is passion. The music is passion. This academy teaching music is passion,
it's all
right?
passion. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So for anyone out there who is interested in booking you, is interested in learning more about the academy, where do we send them?
So, I mean, social media is a great place to start. You can go to our handles at Toronto DJ Academy. If you want to book me, you can check my handle at DJ FIZZA. That's the easiest way. Or, Google that up and you'll get our websites and everything. Um, yeah, it's funny because everyone's like, you never have a card on you. Where's your business card? And I think I'm like old school and I love this organic building. And now again, I think with age, I'm able to actually I shouldn't say with age, I think just being grateful at the position I'm at now where I can
Mm-hmm.
pick and choose
Mm-hmm.
and just being able to go through that.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I do.
That's what you do, sweetheart. And for a woman who has accomplished many milestones in many versions of her identity, what's still on your bucket list that you want to accomplish?
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm.
Oh, Raj,
Girl,
girl. I was gonna
pushing
be
you.
like, girl.
Don't
Wow.
you already like should you even be allowed to have a bucket list with all the things that
Wow.
you're already doing, sweetheart? But
Wow.
I gotta ask you, what do you want to get done in this lifetime that you haven't yet? done.
First of all, I'm so grateful that wow. I think the universe truly listens.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you have a clean heart and you have good intentions, I think the world is yours. So right now, honestly,
You're open.
I'm very grateful
Yeah.
for the experiences that I've had. I'm very grateful for my health and my family's health.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for doing what I've always wanted to do. Like,
Mm.
God forbid, like I'm really happy. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
grateful. I know I don't show enough on social media. Um, Half of me is very protective of
Yeah,
my personal life,
of course.
and the other half is very, very guarded.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I'm
it's not
very,
for everyone, sweetheart. You know, like
it's
that's one
not,
thing I love about you is that um, you're very clear about your intentions. Like when
oh,
you're on
that's
social
me.
media, it's about a specific version of you.
Yeah,
It's not about all of you, right? You don't have a desire for people to need to be a part of everything that you do.
no,
Like
and
I
that's
love
who I
that.
am. So I am who I am.
Yeah.
That's like I always say that I am who I am. Love me, don't love me, but this is who I am. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't hide who I am.
Yeah.
But what I can do is shelter, protect things that I'm so happy about because it scares me.
Yeah.
You know, if that so bucket list honestly would just be just hoping the best for my children, giving them
Mm-hmm.
health and happiness. That's my bucket list.
I love it, sweetheart. I
And
love it.
just continuing to just be surrounded by positive people who are on the same trajectory as me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amen.
I think we're grateful. You and I think are similar that way. Like I'm just really lucky. Like social circle, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have these beautiful women that we surround ourselves with, and my husband is there. I have my kids, my family.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I could ask for.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's one thing that has not happened yet,
Which
but
is, which is,
well, I've not met you, Drake, yet, and
oh
that
my
would be
God.
great.
You haven't met Drake. You've
Yeah,
been
that's
at
so
events that he's at,
we've
but
rubbed
you're not that
we've
girl, but you're not that
he's
girl. That's what it
but I'm
is.
not that girl. He
You're
has
not the
stood
run over
beside
to
me.
them. Yeah.
He's walked over and stood beside me. We've rubbed elbows. But yeah, I'm not that girl.
Yeah,
That's exactly
that's
it.
what it is.
So I am
So
who I am.
Drake, if you are listening to this, if you are watching this by chance, you got to meet DJ Fizza.
You really need to.
Yeah.
Or I could teach his son how to
Oh my God.
DJ.
I love that. Let's put that out in the universe.
That would be a bucket list.
That would
Is
be
that
a
even
bucket
something
list.
you can add to your bucket list?
Oh, it totally is. Why not? You can
Yeah.
affirm anything in life. You
So
can
there we
manifest
go.
anything
Oh
in
my
life. You
gosh.
have, haven't you?
Honestly,
Look, if you were to look forward from who you were 20 years ago, would you ever have predicted the
no,
life that you have?
no,
That,
never.
that everything that you do, sweetheart, whether it is being a mom, being a teacher, being a DJ, having your, entrepreneurship scenario with the academy, would you ever have seen that all of the things that you do are rooted in one thing? And that is your passion for
Yeah,
wanting to do
100%.
it. How many people
100%.
get to say that?
That's why I'm like so grateful.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm sitting here being interviewed by you. So,
Babe,
how
I
how
love you.
grateful can I be? Like it's an honor. It's always
I,
an
oh,
honor.
sweetheart, I feel the same way. Honestly, I interviewed you 10 years ago, and in 10 years, your entire life has
I know.
absolutely bloomed and blossomed. You've become this magnificent big oak tree with all these branches, with these leaves, with this beautiful blossoms, with the fruit of your labor. So I
Well, you
want to
saw
ask,
it.
yeah,
I won the most promising DJ.
you did,
So
and you were.
you foresaw.
Yes, you know, it's funny because I do have that ability. I kind
I
of
know
get
you
this
do. Yeah.
instinctual
Yeah,
feeling, and
absolutely.
it just happens. It's happened with so many people that have had
Of course.
Anoki awards. They've kind of started from there, you know, which is wonderful. I'm very blessed. But I got to ask you this question to close off, Fizza. I feel it's a
Yes.
really important one considering what your life's trajectory has been all about. For women and girls out there who just cannot seem to hit the green button on actioning their lives' passions because they feel they need to, in one way or the other, be one version of all the things that they wish they could be. You aren't that person. You've done it all versions of you. What advice can you give to them to help them push that green button and do all the things?
That is an amazing question. And I would say, like, see, the problem is, I teach teenagers, and there's so much going on with social media. So people are always comparing themselves to this person and that person. So
Mm-hmm.
be yourself. You always say, be unique, be Anoki, be unique, be yourself, believe in yourself. But also, it's not built in a day, right? And you have to put in the time and the effort. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
So keep trying. Life, and I say this to my younger students, and I say this to my DJ students, and I tell this to my daughters. Life is a big ball of problems,
Mm-hmm.
right? People look at you and I, oh, we got it all together. No, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
called
far from it.
adversity, and we are constantly hustling. You
Mm-hmm.
fall, you get back up. You fall again, you get back up. It's so ironic. I just I taught my daughters how to ski this winter.
Oh my gosh, really?
I taught them how to ski, and
I love it.
it was frustrating for them. Oh, they fall, they're crying, there's snow in their face. I'm I'm slipping. I'm trying to lift them up, but at the end of it, after the third, fourth time, they're like my little ducklings and they're following me. We're making the pizza slices and going around. But that was such a great moment because now I keep saying, you fall, what do? You get back up. And
Mm-hmm.
there's times where we all feel like it's such a big problem, but you will get through it and you
Mm-hmm.
can get through it. And there's
Mm-hmm.
so many other things that we can talk about. We don't all come from, the Leave It to Beaver. Do people know what Leave It to Beaver is anymore?
They're probably not.
Probably not. This is
You
like
just
older
aged
siblings.
yourself,
No,
girlfriend.
this is older siblings.
Oh.
We don't come from the Leave It to Beaver, the picture perfect families.
Mm-hmm.
We've all had things
Mm-hmm.
happen and we've all gone through challenges. So just pick yourself back up and know that tomorrow is another day and find the outlet that works for you. Right now, for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's working out. Like I've had a long
Mm.
day, or things are, even at my school, they know, oh, I'm working out at lunch because I just it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
So find
Yeah.
something that you know you can do in a positive way,
Mm-hmm.
and
And just
that
do
is
it.
super helpful.
Yeah.
And
And it's
just do it.
interesting because it's the chemical thing, right, sweetheart? It's like you just mentioned that you work out. What does workout do? It kind of, you know,
Gets
it
those
brings
endorphins, yeah,
yes,
in a positive
endorphins,
way.
oxytocin, all of this starts
Right.
happening, and you start feeling good about life. You start looking at problems in a smaller trajectory than perhaps you would have if you didn't have a sense of yourself being in a positive, happy place. And that's what workout does for you. Meditation does that for me. So I
Yeah,
get it, sweetheart.
absolutely.
Any,
Spirituality, so
absolutely.
important.
So,
But also surround yourself with good people, people who
yeah,
believe in you. And if people don't
yes,
believe in you, then maybe they're not
your
the
people.
right, maybe they're not your people.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Mhm.
That's okay. But
Sometimes You know, it's interesting, babe, because sometimes people are your people until they're not anymore,
Yeah, and that's
right?
okay.
And
Yeah,
that's okay too,
absolutely.
right?
100%.
Absolutely.
We're look, we're always learning. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
learning. Every day
Mm-hmm.
there's something I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
So just, yeah, for anybody who wants to do anything, start, just get started.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Any final words that you want to leave everyone with, Fizza? Anything that maybe you've learned through life, anything that you feel people need to know just from your life's journey that maybe we haven't spoken about before we, you know, say goodbye for this session, because I can't believe it. Our time is up and I feel
I
like I have
love
a
it.
thousand other
I know.
questions for you.
I'm gonna come over later. I'm
I
just
can't
joking.
wait.
Just believe in yourself and surround yourself with positivity. And this is again like just learning. I can't believe I'm still learning. Like, go with your gut.
Mhm,
And time is the most valuable thing in life. So
mhm,
be surrounded by good people, because the teaching, the DJing, the DJ Academy, that aside, like, being surrounded by really amazing people that you can be yourself around is so important. And I'm so
mhm.
grateful for that. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for where we are right now. Um, yeah.
I love it. And, you know, what a great way to end this, Fizza, being grateful with your lot. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank
and
you. Oh
educating
my
our
God.
community here at Anoki about what it takes to be a badass Desi woman who not only envisioned all the possibilities, but made them all a reality. You truly are a Renaissance woman. You are my Fizztastic, and I love ya.
I love it. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Guys, I sincerely encourage you to go hang out with Fizza. She really, truly is this cool. I mean, there is no other version of her than this version that you just saw right now and you're listening to. Just go hang out with her in her world, the version of her world that she allows the public in, because we do, regardless of social media and how we are bombarded at every single juncture of life where we feel like we need to share every aspect of our lives. We don't. She's an example of that. It's the reason why I feel that she is so successful in all the versions of her narrative. I want you guys to go hang out with her. She's doing big things. She carries on doing big things, and she is constantly elevating her life. And she's doing it by serving others. Truly a role model to everyone, a role model to me. And I'll see you all next week on the Anokhi Uncensored podcast. Stay connected with us everywhere at Anokhi Lifestyle. And don't forget to sign up for our weekly newsletter at anokhilife.com for exclusive giveaways and things that, you know, we're always up to. We're always there. We're into our 21st year of elevating and showcasing and supporting the South Asian community. And I feel honored every single day that I get to be a part of that. I'll see you all next time. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Mwah.